Hey guys, hey gut feeders! Today we're going to talk about why eggs, dairy and gluten actually make us sick and can aggravate any chronic condition we have in our body, maybe even without knowing it. Have you ever asked yourself why so many people nowadays have dairy intolerance? They just get diarrhea if they eat a little tiny bit of cheese or they drink some milk. They can't do gluten products because they have a wheat allergy, or they get stomach pain if they just eat one egg. Why is that? Well, after watching this video, you're gonna have an answer for that. My name is Peggy from peggysherman.com. I warmly welcome you to Gut Feelings, the channel to support you to become your own health expert, so you have all the energy to go out there in the world and manifest your dreams. If you aren't part of the Gut Feeler family yet, I would feel honored if you hit the subscribe button now. We get free new videos every week, and you can join the conversations down below, share your expert knowledge, share your expertise to get inspired, hopefully, from these videos. When I start working with a new client, one of the questions I ask, actually one of the first questions, is what are you eating on a daily basis? Well, how's your breakfast, lunch and dinner looking like? What are you eating for snacks? And what are the free foods that you eat the most commonly? And the answer I often get is in these free foods there is either gluten, eggs or dairy, or all three of them. Now guys, what's wrong with having an egg for breakfast, eating some bread at lunch, or having a toss of milk in your cappuccino? Now, the answer that I most commonly get if I ask this question to a client or somebody I just met is that it has to do with the way we produce these foods. Yeah, it has to do, if you have a conventional egg, you have antibiotics in there, or you drink milk with hormones, yeah, all these cows that are just injected hormones to produce more milk. There's definitely a percentage of truth to this. However, that doesn't justify when people start to eat organic food, they get organic fresh milk just straight from the cow, literally, then they still have symptoms. Why is that? Now guys, here's the thing. Neither dairy products, nor eggs, nor any kinds of gluten, bread, wheat, rye, they are not bad in and by itself. This is important to know, because don't give me a thumbs down if I say these foods that we eat so commonly and that they're almost in everything. If you could just go to your supermarket and you just read the labels, it's so difficult if you transition to a more cleaner diet. Don't freak out, I'm completely with you, but for me, understanding what the real root cause is really helped me be more determined what I want to eat and what happens in my body and what I do to my body actually. So now here comes the secret why 200 years ago people didn't have any problems digesting dairy products, eggs and gluten, and why nowadays, even if you eat organic, you still damage your body if you have any chronic issues, if you have anything underlying that you might not be even aware of yet. If you are born into this physical body, you are not starting out with a clean slate. People then think, okay, it's the genes if you get cancer or if you got an autoimmune disease, which basically means traditional medicine doesn't know what it is, so it's autoimmune, the body's attacking itself. So, which is bullshit, by the way. Most of the diseases that we are now being faced with that are just started a few hundred years ago have to do with two things. First, an accumulation of toxic heavy metals in our body, and the second one is pathogens that are stored up in our body. We have especially bacteria and viruses. Don't worry so much about fungus, because fungus is actually just a sign that your body can't deal with the toxic load and with the toxic waste that bacteria and viruses excrete into the body, and it's basically eating that up to protect the body. So fungus really not your problem. Don't worry about candida. If you have candida, worry about the toxic load in your body and the pathogens in your body that really wreak havoc. If you reduce these, then also candida won't proliferate and it's just going to grow back naturally. So as humanity in the last couple hundred years, we made some really bad choices. We developed antibiotics which damage the liver, which make all kinds of bacteria actually more resistant. One big one is here a resistant strain of strep, which causes SIBO, which causes acne, which can cause allergies, has to do with this, and viruses. Here Epstein-Barr, for example, shingles virus, and these guys, they have a lot to do with multiple sclerosis, for example, like my mother has, all kinds of autoimmune disease, thyroid issues, nervous system issues, and it's just the start of that. So if you're born into this body right now, you are actually inheriting from your ancestors a lot of the toxic load, because it's stored in the liver. If the woman gives birth, you have this enteropathic cycle, which is also connected to the bloodstream of the baby. Even if you just picked up strep bacteria in your childhood and kindergarten, everybody's coughing and that's easy transmitted. This bacteria can actually be dormant in your body for a long period of time and can grow stronger. It can nest in the gut, it can nest in the lymph system. Yeah, that's when people have a lot of sinusitis. This has to do with strep as well. It can make itself a home in your liver, especially if you have made it stronger in a way that you used antibiotics or you had a low immunity, you had a nutrient deficiency, there was a lot of stress. So your body maybe wasn't able to get the strep out completely. And then what happens over the time, over the years, you might not have any symptoms. Yeah, you might not have any problems with your sinus or feeling that your liver is sluggish. It just builds up. But this bacteria, same as viruses, they have different stadiums. Yeah, so they get stronger over the years and they also change which symptoms you have. Now, without going too much into detail in this, what do eggs, gluten and dairy actually have in common? They feed those pathogens. They feed viruses, they feed bacteria in your body, and they help them to get stronger. And then your body reacts to the toxic waste of the bacteria. It doesn't react to the gluten in it by itself. It reacts to, after you've fed the strep, after you've fed the pathogen, it excretes these toxins and then your body starts releasing histamine, you have inflammation, you have all kinds of issues like diarrhea, you have cramps, you feel bloated, because clever enough your body tries to protect you from these toxins. So it's not the dairy, the egg or the gluten in it by itself that are a problem. Of course, antibiotic residues in the eggs or hormones are not really beneficial for your body, but it doesn't cause this immense reaction which people experience. And even if you don't have any symptoms, even if you think you can eat all of these free and nothing happens, there's likely going to be a build-up. And especially in our liver, which is our main cleansing organ, it's the biggest internal organ of our body, it stores this bacterium up. It gets stronger, it grows stronger, and only if you reach a certain threshold, yeah, imagine like an iceberg, then you start having symptoms. And that can be gradually, but for some people it's also rapidly. So for example, weight gain. If people at a certain age, 35, 40, 50, suddenly they were always really thin, and suddenly they start to having the swimming extra weight and they can't lose it anymore. Or people develop things like autoimmune diseases like Hashimoto. This is a typical example for Epstein-Barr viruses that actually attacks. It's not your thyroid in and by itself attacking itself. Why should your body attack itself? This is so harmful to us to believe that. For me, when this theory first started to be proven, in my experience was when I stopped eating dairy products and my hay fever got better. Because I stopped feeding the strep in my sinus, and in my eyes, which causes this inflammation. Now guys, I know I'm dropping a big bomb on you. Maybe you produce your own bread, maybe you even grow your own grains, and now comes this chick on YouTube telling you this is actually feeding pathogens in your body. Maybe you're one of these what I call dinosaurs that can eat anything and they don't get sick. There are not many out there anymore, but maybe you are one. That's awesome. But if that's not the case, I hope this video was valuable for you. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. What is your experience? I'm ready for some heated discussion. Just as a disclaimer up front, there is no scientific proof for this theory. And I'm pretty sure for a long time there will be no proof for that. Because I don't know if you ever gotten to a nutrition conference. I went to some of these, and there are two main sponsors for these kind of type of conferences, where influencers go to spread the knowledge into their circles. And this is the pharma industry, what a surprise, and the second one is the food industry, especially dairy and eggs. So there are big firms who are producing eggs, for example, which sponsor people to give a talk about eggs, health benefits, and all of this stuff. So guys, before you give me a thumbs down and say like, oh, she's just crazy, make your own experience. Try it out. If you have any conditions, try out to leave the dairy, the gluten and the eggs for a week, and you're gonna feel a difference and you're in the best way direction healing. If you want to give this a shot and you don't know where to start, I've created a 1-week challenge which has everything. It has a shopping list, it has a weekend special, it has snack options, it has all the meal plans for the week, everything laid out for you. Also some informations about certain types of natural foods like broccoli, celery, and what they really do to your body, how they can help you. If you want to check that out, I'm going to link you the gut healing challenge in the description below. This is a week without these trigger foods where you can see if that works for you, if my theory is true, or if I'm just telling bullshit. You can just give me a thumbs down. But the invitation is to try it out first and make your own experience. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I wish you a beautiful day and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.